Have you ever felt surrounded by people, yet unseen? Have you smiled while something inside you remained silent? That's not just sadness. That's not just stress. That is loneliness. And not the kind that comes from empty rooms, but from something deeper. Carl Jung didn't just call this loneliness. He called it a spiritual signal. Because real loneliness doesn't start when people leave. It begins when you stop recognizing the person inside you. Jung said something powerful. Loneliness does not come from being alone, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. What he meant was this: we begin to feel isolated when we lose the language of our own soul, when we bury our real thoughts, when we silence our truth to be liked, when we play roles that don't fit anymore. We're not just fooling others, we're abandoning ourselves. And the deeper we go into that false self, the louder the loneliness becomes. Jung described something called the persona, the mask we wear in society. It helps us function, it helps us belong. But the danger is, we start to believe the mask is who we are. We wear the happy mask, the strong mask, the successful mask. But behind that mask is a voice whispering, "This is not the real me." And that whisper, that is where loneliness lives. Because it is not people we are missing, it is ourselves. Carl Jung also introduced the idea of the shadow. Your shadow is everything you've pushed away. Your pain, your shame, your real desires, your anger, your sensitivity. Society teaches us to hide these. But Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Your loneliness may be your shadow knocking on the door, asking you to look, not away, but within. You're not being punished by life. You're being invited. Loneliness is not here to destroy you. It is here to return you to your center. Jung believed that these moments, the silent nights, the long pauses, the deep ache, are sacred. They are initiations, a rite of passage for the soul. Because only when everything external goes quiet can we finally hear what's inside. Jung spoke of a path called individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are, not who the world wants you to be, not even who you were told to be, but who you really are, underneath it all. He said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And guess what? Loneliness is often the beginning of that path. It tears away distractions. It forces you to sit with your silence. And in that silence, you begin to remember. You remember the dreams you left behind, the child within you, the voice of your soul. That's not loneliness. That's a reunion. Many people feel the weight of this in midlife. You've built a life, a family, a name. But one day you look in the mirror and ask, is this all there is? Where did I go? That is not weakness. That is awakening. Jung called this the midlife transition. He said the first half of life is about building the ego, but the second half is about meeting the soul. And loneliness is often the door between those two lives. There is a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is loud. It aches. It cries out. Solitude is still. It listens. It restores. When you stop fearing your own presence, when you sit in silence and start to feel peace, you are no longer lonely. You are home. Jung said, solitude is for me a fount of healing which makes my life worth living. So let me ask you, what part of you have you abandoned to fit in? When was the last time you sat with yourself without judgment? Who are you when no one is watching? These are not easy questions, but they are the right ones. Loneliness often brings them up, not to hurt us, but to wake us up. Something beautiful happens when you face your inner world. You stop begging for attention because you've given it to yourself. You stop chasing love because you've returned to your own heart. You stop fearing solitude because it becomes sacred. Jung didn't want us to avoid our pain. He wanted us to walk through it with awareness, because beyond the pain is truth. Beyond the truth is freedom. You don't need to find yourself. You are not lost. You just need to remember. The parts of you that feel broken are just parts that have been silent too long. The loneliness you feel is your soul longing to speak again. Listen, Carl Jung said, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. Look inside, not to escape the world, but to meet the one person who has been with you all along. You. You are not empty. You are not forgotten. You are on the edge of something sacred. This loneliness you feel is not the end. It's the beginning of your awakening. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to do 3 things. 1. Comment below, what did this video awaken in you? 2. Like and share. Help others who are walking through silent nights. 3. Subscribe to this channel for more deep conversations, soul reminders, and healing journeys. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you is ready to rise. And I'm honored to walk this path beside you.